Good evening, everyone. Let's start the session with our school song.
It all just feels like a dream to me to find a school so true. And I know it's all in make-believe when I picture a school like you. The one thing that I learned from you is that I can make my dreams come true. Someday when I wake up to find memories of Billabong in my mind, imagine how that could be. Imagine how that could be. T for teamwork, B for empowerment, and for mutual respect. B for passion, I for integrity, A for accountability. Billabong high, Billabong high, Billabong high, you know you can fly. Billabong high, you can touch the sky. Billabong high, Billabong high. We have aspiration over ambition. In our minds we have rhythm, courage and humanity. What makes us Billabong high is we believe we can touch the sky. Billabong high, Billabong high, Billabong high, you know you can fly. Billabong high, you can touch the sky. Billabong high, Billabong high, Billabong high, you know you can fly. Billabong high, touch the sky.
Good evening, everyone. I, Gianna Chaudhary from grade 4. And I, Saira Singh from grade 4. Welcome you all on the digital platform of Billabong Inspire Stock Series. On behalf of Billabong High International School, we would like to thank all the parents for their support and work towards our school. Billabong Inspire Stock Series initiative will bring together working parents from various fields of expertise. They will share their life experiences, which will help motivate and inspire the students towards achieving their goals. VHI strongly believe in the core values, which inform your thoughts, decisions, and actions, and help you align your career or life path to what's important to you. They are the essential foundation in finding your life purpose because they remind us and others who we truly are. PHI's core values are diligence, hardworking, persistence, resilient, service, generosity, enterprise, charity, leadership, stewardship, compassion, kind, empathetic, humble, resourcefulness, creative, risk taker, dynamic, outward looking, commitment to a large community, a family, a belief system, cultural morals, sustainability, environment and integrity, honest, trustworthy, modest, respectful. Billabong Inspires Talk series is all geared up today for an interesting and enlightening session with our speaker, Mrs. Monica Shukla, who will be taking us through her life journey. Mrs. Monica Shukla, by profession, is a research scholar in a field of neuroscience at IIT Kanpur in biological sciences and bioengineering department. She completed her B.Tech from Amity University, Noida, and got placed in HCL Technologies, Noida, where she worked for 4 years as software engineer. Meantime, she got married. A year later, shifted to Kanpur. Mrs. Monica completed her master's in biotechnology from Rama Engineering College. After her master's, she applied in few places for PhD and got selected for the program here at IIT Kanpur. Currently, she is working on one of the neurodegenerative disease, that is Lafora disease. Now, without much ado, we would like to welcome our guest speaker for the day, Mrs. Monica Shukla.
Thank you, Saira and Gianna, for such nice introduction, and good evening to everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Wow, ma'am, we have got so inspired from your journey, and we both have got so motivated to see your commitment towards your work. Ma'am, we would like to ask you a few questions related to your journey and to your work. Also, students can ask their questions by writing in the chat box. Ma'am, firstly, I would like to ask, what made you choose such an offbeat, unconventional, and uncommon career, and how you got interest in neuroscience?
So, if you go into my educational background, from my 12th onwards, I have started to build my career in the biology field. After that, like after opting the biology in 12th standard, I proceed my graduation in the biotechnology field from the Amity University. From after the words, I did some job in the field of pharmaceutical company as in software engineer, but due to some circumstances I have to move back to the Kanpur. After that, I have realized that I need to I have to build my career again in academics. So again, I opted for my post graduation and cleared several exams for that, and ultimately I find my career here in IIT Kanpur after cracking this entrance exam. So what I find here is biology is like very interesting thing. What I feel is that it is related to your life, right? So what we are observing, the things in our surroundings, it is actually comes under the biology. Like there are the several aspects of biology, whether it is a microbiology or the molecular biology or neuroscience or environmental science. All these things comes under one tree, that is the biology. And this is such a wonderful field. You can correlate with all the practical aspects you are seeing in the environment. You can correlate within your system. So likewise, we see the environment is one of the system. Likewise, we have our body is one system. So whatever we are studying, what we are doing, whatever experiments we are doing, we can correlate with our body actually. So it is really very nice and interesting to build a career in the field of biology. The next part of the question is how I come to into the neuroscience. So after getting here admission in the IIT Kanpur, I get in this opportunity to work under this neuroscience field. It is really very nice, and I will pray ki, like students will get into this field and build their career in this neuroscience department. You will get so many opportunities, and actually you will love to learn this neuroscience field.
Wow, ma'am. Ma'am, how did you plan the steps to get into the career you wanted? Please tell us more about your career path.
So it is very important, I think, to think about your career starting from your school. I'm not saying you have to just finalize your thing, finalize your career path from the school onwards, but the student should focus on the things which they like, they do not like. They should work on this, their strength, their weakness, the subjects on which they have some interest. So they can just focus on those part on which they have command. So they can continue on that criteria, on that line, and continue to work on their on that path actually. So I think for school student it is too early to decide whether they wanted to go into the research field, but yes, I will surely say it is the time you have to focus on the strength you have actually. So it will help you to decide later on the career path you wanted to choose on. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what did you do for your graduation or post-graduation?
So, as I told that for my graduation, they are the after the 12th, you have to be appeared for different entrance exams which are held in India. So as like this is the criteria for getting the admission in any graduating school. So I did the same. I have cleared the entrance exam for my graduation, and for post graduation there is a exams known as gate. So you have to, in India it is very it is important to crack that exam. So if you want to get the career in any IITs or any NITs, you have to clear that grade. That is a and it is an aptitude test in engineering. So you have to clear that exam for getting good college in India. So I have cleared that, and after that you have to apply for the different universities or IITs where you want to get admission. So I did the same thing and got the admission here in IIT Kanpur.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, why did you choose Billabong for your kid?
So Billabong, it is a very good option I find here in the Kanpur. My daughter Adya Avasti, she is in class grade 1 AN, and it's been around 5 years I am attached with this school. I am very much satisfied with the Billabong. The teachers here are giving they are giving their best. During this pandemic also, I find that there is no milestone left from the teachers side to continue the educations for our children. They are just giving their best. As far as I know, this Billabong is just up to my expectations. So I just wanted to continue with this school only in Kanpur.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what skills are needed for this kind of job, and how did you acquire the skills?
Okay, so as far as the skills known for the research, it is little I say a tricky question, but not the person the students who wanted to continue the career in the research field. They must have at least the hard work. So if you any field, the students need to have this hard work, but in the research it is one of the mandatory thing, I should say, the student have. Apart from the hard work, the patience. Like sometimes you are planning some experiments and all, and it doesn't go in one go, right? So if you're planning some experiment for a day, but the situation happens, it will not get completed in one day. So ultimately you have to repeat those experiments, your hypothesis, your experiments, and they are the scenarios when you have to repeat the same experiment for 100 times also to get the satisfactory result, whatever you want, what you hypothesize that thing. So so this patience is very important if the one wants to make career in the research field. The third thing which I want, I'll say the motivation. As I say, the results or the research will not continue in it will not come in one go. So the motivation is also a part which the students need to work on. So in India, typically, the research is focused, it spans for around 3 to 4 years or maximum, or may go to 5 years also. So if you have interest on your field, that field which you have chosen, you should be motivated enough to continue that work. So this hardworking, patience, and the motivation, these three aspects which are very important for the research work. If you don't have, I must say the person will not be able to continue in the research field.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, as you mentioned, currently you are working on Lafora disease. So can you please tell us about this disease?
So, Lafora disease, it is a neurodegenerative disease. In a simple term, I say what happens in this disease, the brain functionality, the brain doesn't function properly. What happens, the major cells which are present in a brain is a neuronal cells. So in this disease, what happens, these cells get died. So as a result, the impairment in functionality of brain happens. As a result, the patients which are suffering from this diseases, what happens, they will not able to think properly, they will not able to walk, they will not be able to say something. Also, the patients suffering from this diseases, they suffer uh, dementia and seizure. The condition, the recurrent seizure, we call this is epilepsy. In layman terms, we can say Dora, must everyone heard of. So this is such kind of disease, and the main onset of the disease is around adult in 10 years or 16 years. So the patients which are suffering from this disease, they get usually between 10 to 16 years, and they died within 10 years of disease onset. So maximum span of life is only 10 years once the disease get onset. So it is one of the very severe diseases over the worldwide.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what is a typical day like for you?
So it is really a very long day for me. I firstly, in the morning, I started preparing for Adya. I just make her prepare for her classes at 7:30, and then leave for the IIT at around 9 a.m. And then spend around 8 to 9 hours there. And after coming from there, I just make sure I'll give time to my daughter, like whatever she wanted to do. If I have to give the time for their studies, I make her studies, and like according to her, I have planned everything like after coming from the IIT. So it is really a tight schedule for me as well as for Adya.
Wow, ma'am. Ma'am, what advice would you offer a school student considering this as a career based on your experience?
So I should say that one should plan this research as a career option if they have the interest on it. Until and unless they don't have the interest, they will not be able to continue this field. As I told that in India, it will take around 4 to 5 years or maximum, maybe 6 or 7 years also to continue your work. So until and unless the person have the interest on that field, that subject, he will not be able to survive in that field. So so much background work and this research work is needed before you are opting for the research as a career option. For a school student, it is little early to decide uh, to get into the research field, but I will say you must consider it as your career option.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell us an example of a specific memorable work you did that is very close to you?
Yes, there was one experiment which I was doing on mice. So before go into that experiment, I wanted to tell you all that what we are doing in the lab. The first thing, like our body made up of cells, right? The human body. So what we are doing in the lab is just we are complementing from the body itself. So our body, as I told, the body is made up of cells. So any experiment which we are planning in the lab, first we tried that experiment in the cells only. So I also did that experiment on the cells, and after getting the successful result on the cell lines, I planned that experiment on the animal model. So what happens once in the this is the flow of the experiment we follow on in research in biology field. Once we have done with the cell lines, we continue our research on the animal models. So for me, the animal model is the Lafora disease mice model, as I have working on the Lafora disease. So what happened, like I told that the Lafora disease patients suffer from the muscle weakness. So I was working on that part. I raised the question why these patients have this muscle weakness in the Lafora disease. So for this, I have took the mice hind limb muscle, right? So it is a just locomotory muscle, which is important for the movement of the mice. So I have took that muscle, and what I found, I can't explain the experiment, but I found that there is a problem in the like signal transaction from the brain. So the brain gives the signal to our body to perform certain aspects, like certain functions. So what I find that like indeed the brain is not able to give the instructions to muscle to perform that particular task. So this was one of my favorite findings till now in my 3 years of research experience, that in this Lafora disease, why these patients have this muscle impairment.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, do you have any closing thoughts regarding the session?
So I just wanted to thank Billabong for giving me such nice opportunity to talk with you all and share my thoughts with you all. And I wanted to say you all that always have positive attitude in your life, and just think of that key, like if anything happens in your life, it happens for the reason, it happens for the for best. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, now we would like to read the questions from the chat box. Ma'am, Lavanya Jaggi 4RA wants to know what kind of hard work is needed to reach where you are today.
So what kind of hard work is basically the discipline environment. You have to be very disciplined. If you are planning something, you have to be focused on that, right? If you're planning, if you have the experiments on, all your friends are going somewhere, you can't ignore that thing. You have to work on the things which you have planned, right? The hard working is very important for this thing. It is like the research is very time bound. If you have 9 hours of experiment, 24 hours of experiments, or sometimes it maybe have 72 hours of experiments, so you have to be very strict in your timelines. So this type of hard work is very much required in the research field, especially in the biology.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, Sasha Agarwal 4RA wants to ask, how did your family help you fulfill your dream?
How did your family help you fulfill your dream? So yeah, without family, I can't do anything. So my parents, my sister, they are very there for, actually I need help for Adya basically. So my parents and my sister, they take care Adya when I'm here in IIT. So without them, it was not possible for me to continue here for such a long time without their support.
Ma'am, Sughra Fatima 3SA wants to know, ma'am, how do you manage your family and business?
So I'm not in the business. So how I'm managing the things here, as I told that I try to get the things done, like whatever time I have at my house, like the morning hours and evening hours, I'm doing my household things and spending time with my daughter. I have very strict schedule. I can't go plan something else. So I have to be focused on my timelines. So this is how I am doing the things.
Ma'am, someone wants to ask, how can persistence help us achieve our goal?
Can you please repeat the question?
How can persistence help us achieve our goal?
How can, I'm not able to, just a minute, I'll read the question. Yeah. So yeah, so you have to be, as I said, you have to be very goal focused on the things which you wanted to do. Without that, you will not be able to continue. So it is very important to be focused, to be motivated, to be, I think, hardworking. So these are the things you should continue in your life if you wanted to complete your goal, achieve your goal.
Ma'am, there's a question. Why did you opt for neuroscience STEM?
Neuroscience.
Yes, ma'am.
So after getting selected here in the IIT Kanpur, I was given 2-3 options. So among those options, I find this neuroscience is the more interesting one for me. I thought I will work on this and will continue my research on this. So I have chosen, but basically I find interesting this neuroscience field. That's why I've chosen the neuroscience.
Ma'am, there's a question. Ma'am, can you please explain us your profession?
So my profession is basically I'm a research scholar. So after getting the research scholar does, basically we have some topic, right? So we have to choose a topic for our research. So for me, it is a Lefora, as I told, Lefora disease, which is a neurodegenerative disorder. So till now, there is no cure available in the available for the human beings for this disease. We are just taking the preventive measures, and the as such, no target therapy is available for the Lefora disease. So also the cause for the disease is still not yet known fully functionally. So my work is just to focus on what is the cause, and also the therapeutic approaches, what we can do to prevent from this disease.
Ma'am, there's a question. What made you develop interest in neuroscience?
So as I told earlier also, okay, I find biology it is very interesting for me. So biology is a field I can relate it with the life, right? So whatever happens in the surroundings and the environment, I can find it in my lab. So whatever we are seeing, I can replicate that things in under the laboratory. So this is the reason I wanted to continue this field and opted for the neurobiology for my research.
Ms. Preeti Agarwal wants to ask, there is a lot of talk about mental well-being. What do you recommend to keep up the same?
Can you please repeat? I'm not able to see the question.
There is a lot of talk about mental well-being. What do you recommend to keep up the same?
Mental well-being. Yeah. So if I talk about the mental well-being, and if I relate mental well-being with my research field, so if you are not healthy mentally, you will not be able to continue your work in the field of science. So for one, to be able to success in the field of research, he or she should be able to mentally calm, and like the concentration part, it should be there, as the motivation, the patience. These things are these are the mandatory things which are required for the person who wanted to continue in the field of research. So this is very important thing.
Ma'am, Tanishka Saraf for I wants to know, how can persistence help us achieve our goal?
How?
How does persistence help? How can persistence help us achieve our goal?
Yeah, as I already told this answer, I think. So so for the achieving your goal, you should make the plan. You should know what you wanted to do in your career from the school onwards. Yeah, from your from the fifth standards or sixth standard, it is actually too early to decide for the research field. But yeah, if you wanted to have the clear mindset in this field you wanted to go, you should focus on that from the school onwards, and ultimately I think nobody will stop you from getting the goal. You should be very disciplined, you should be very I think career oriented for all these things.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time for some fun element. It's quiz time. Students will get 10 seconds for each question, and they are requested to write their answers in the chat box.
So the first question is, this system controls everything you do and your options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is option given by
Here's the next question. Without the nervous system, you couldn't dash, and your options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is all of the above, option B.
So the next question, the nervous system is made up of these three parts and the options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is option B given by no one.
Here's the next question. Which part of the body is the control center for the nervous system? And your options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is option C.
The next question is, a typical brain weighs how much and the options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is option C given by Saiba Singh.
Next question is, which part of the brain keeps you breathing? And your options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is option B.
The next question is, your emotions are believed to come from the dash and the options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is option D.
Here's the next question. The brain creates connections or pathways between microscopic cells. Your options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is option B.
The next question is, the primary emotions include dash, and the options are
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
and the right answer is option B, given by Saiba Singh.
The next question is, when we are afraid, the sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system accelerates the heart rate. True or false?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
True.
Many congratulations to all the winners. Please give clap reaction to all the participants.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We have got so inspired to see your passion towards your work. And I'm sure everyone must have been amazed to get to know more about your inspiring journey.
Our heartfelt gratitude to our founder and CEO, Mrs. Preeti Agarwal, for initiating such talks, which kindles in us the curiosity to explore more. We convey our heartfelt gratitude to our guest speaker, Mrs. Monica Shukla, for the dynamic talk.
Your feedback and suggestion is most important to us for raising the bar all the time. WhatsApp class group will remain open till 5:30 p.m. Parents and students are requested to share their feedbacks and suggestions in the class group.
Thank you so much, everyone, to be a part of this Billabong Inspires Talk series.
We will meet tomorrow on 17th October 2021 at the same time with our next guest speaker, Mr. Rishabh Kumar Giriraj. Thank you.